every single time the Oklahoma City Thunder win a playoff basketball game, we're talking about how they flop and the officiating and how they're being poorly officiated. But I do, before getting into that, want to say just how wildly entertaining the first two games of the Western Conference Finals have been, and the first three playoff games of these conference finals so far. The first two of the West sandwiched around that comeback win by the Knicks that the Cavs are trying to rebound from tonight in Madison Square Garden, on the ESPN family of networks, the Disney family of networks. That'll be later on tonight. And it's just been superb. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's MVP awarding, led to Victor Wembanyama's 40-20 piece on game one night, back on Monday night. That SGA showed up last night, and he does hit the floor an absurd amount of times. Like,
on every shot.
Like even Joel Embiid sitting at home going, that's embarrassing. And so it's frustrating to watch, but the guy is particularly special and one of the best basketball players in the NBA, where you're wondering does he need to even do it sometimes, and
ever.
And the officials aren't, biting as much as they have. He took just 6 free throws last night, which is a box you want to check if you're the San Antonio Spurs,
That's
certainly
true.
when playing SGA in his home arena. Just 6 free throws for him last night. 12 of 24 from the field, though, and a lot of them coming every single time the Spurs would make it a one-possession game after the Thunder took a 10 or 11-point lead. There was, as you know, in the end of the first half, a comfort zone for Oklahoma City where they led anywhere between 6 and 11 or 12 points. And then the Spurs made a run to start the second half. And then SGA and the rest of this highly talented Alex Caruso is just a marvel to watch play basketball. I loved listening to Jamal Crawford and Reggie Miller both kind of chuckling at his game, where he would just come off the bench and within 2 seconds gets his first touch and he launches a three and he heat checks successfully. It really, he checks in and then heat checks, this guy. And he plays both ends of the floor. And a transition game is crucial for him. Dude, I don't, again, mean to bring up any sore subject, but how the hell did the Philadelphia 76ers just let Jared McCain become an Oklahoma City Thunder, essentially, and how many crucial minutes he's playing.
Another long list of bad moves.
And he is playing such terrific basketball. He was only 4 of 14 last night, but his clutch shooting. A.J. Mitchell, another member of this team.
A little bit of a breakout, these players.
And, their defense leading to 21 turnovers for the San Antonio Spurs. Now, you could also credit the fact that the Spurs are banged up and De'Aaron Fox is sitting in his street clothes and Stephon Castle is turning the ball over at an alarming rate. He, last night in game number 2, wound up with 9 turnovers after 11 in game 1. That's 20 of the 44 turnovers that the Spurs suffered in the first 2 games of the series, leading to 55 Thunder points, including last night the turnovers that they coughed up. 21 of them led to 27 Oklahoma City Thunder points, which is, by the way, the 5th time in this postseason of the 9 victories that they've had. 5 of them have featured at least 27 points off of turnovers. It's tough to beat this team to begin with. Okay? It's tough to beat this team to begin with. And there's that. So I did want to give some flowers before I jumped into the officiating portion of this conversation, because the Spurs do have some good things to check a box after last night's loss, okay? The fact that they almost won this game and were in it towards the end without De'Aaron Fox for the entirety, and this dynamic 20-year-old Dylan Harper being out for much of the second half. Now, I'm sure Oklahoma City Thunder fans are saying, well, Jalen Williams, he's out with a hamstring injury again, and it looks like Dylan Harper's out with a hamstring injury of his own. They called it a leg injury. He's holding the back of one of his thighs. That's never any bueno. And boy, did they miss his playmaking ability. Mm-hmm. And there's also Stephon Castle with the turnovers, comes in a remarkable game. His ability to get to the basket is outstanding. His throwdown dunk last night on Hartenstein was,
my goodness,
caused me to scream out loud.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like literally, like what,
Yeah.
That was
do it again. I tweeted, I said some stuff that wasn't safe for work.
I mean, that was unbelievable. And Wembanyama was held to just 21 points and 17 rebounds. That said, this kid, and I know I was calling him, with his burning desire to win, Michael Jordan esque. He's now averaged in the first 2 games of this series 30 points, 20 rebounds. Last guy to start a playoff series averaging 30 and 20. His name's Shaquille O'Neal in the 2001 NBA Finals against your Sixers. That's the last time you've seen a player so dominant with a 30-20 stat line to start a playoff series. And they go home with 1 win in their back pocket, hoping to maybe get De'Aaron Fox back from the dreaded high ankle sprain. Harper's going to go through an MRI. We shall see. But I will just say this. The fact that Victor Wembanyama still scored 21 points, 17 rebounds.
17 rebounds.
And by the way, 4 block shots. There was one sequence that he followed up his own miss.
Yeah.
From the right side of the basket.
He's gonna miss it.
With a left-handed finish on the other side of the basket.
That was insane.
The fact that he did that and then went down the floor and came up with such a suction cup type block, like a gravity suck type block on the other end of the floor, then wound up on the floor and then got hit. I believe it was Dort or Joe, one of those fellas, who gave him a little bit of business on the floor. The fact that he did that wearing an Isaiah Hartenstein suit all night is truly remarkable. Hartenstein, I mean, if this was football, he would have had about 30 holding penalties last night. Honestly, the Oklahoma City Thunder would have lost about 300 yards.
Personal foul.
300 yards of penalty yards. Not personal foul, holding.
Man, Sean Hockley.
Well, there was one personal foul where he yanked Castle's hair.
His locks. I took personal umbrage to that. So
I mean, that, Tariqa was giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying, was that basically a tangle or a pull? And Reggie, no, it was a hair pull.
The hair pull, yeah. He should have tossed out for that.
Stein was allowed to defend Victor Wembanyama last night. He was the primary defender on Wembanyama, according to ESPN tracking, on 47 plays last night. Do you know how many times he was the primary defender on Wembanyama in game 1?
2?
3. Oh. 3.
He's got more beef than anyone else on their team.
And so this is now established that Hartenstein is Mark Daigneault's designated defender of Victor Wembanyama.
Designated Lambeer.
And he is going to yank him, pull him, grab his arm, hook his arm.
Try to bait him.
He's going to do all of that. And that way that he handled his business led to everyone wondering if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander saw this and knew that this is not sustainable or a good way to play him, based